Alright, wildlife fans, get ready for one of the most epic heavyweight battles Mother Nature has ever cooked up: elephant versus rhino. Imagine two giants duking it out on the African savanna, one a gentle but massive land titan, the other a horned tank ready to charge at a moment's notice. It's like watching a sumo wrestler square off against a heavyweight boxer, each with their own style, power, and attitude. If you've ever marveled at the sheer size of elephants or been awed by the rhino's fierce charge, you know this showdown is about more than just muscle. It's brains, brawn, and boldness all rolled into one wild fight. I personally think these encounters show us how raw power and clever strategy can collide in the animal kingdom, and trust me, you don't want to blink, or you'll miss the wild action. Let's dive in and break down who truly rules the heavyweight ring of the wild. Alright, let's kick things off with the basics: size and strength, because in this epic showdown, these two giants really bring the muscle. First up, the African elephant, a true titan of the land. This magnificent creature can weigh up to a mind-blowing 14,000 pounds and stand taller than a basketball hoop at over 10 feet at the shoulder. Imagine footsteps so heavy they practically make the ground rumble beneath you. Plus, those massive tusks and that magical trunk, which works like a Swiss Army knife, strong enough to uproot trees yet gentle enough to pick up a single blade of grass. This isn't just brute strength, it's a walking fortress that commands respect everywhere it goes. Now, let's talk about the white rhino. Sure, it's smaller, tipping the scales at about 5,000 pounds, but don't let that size fool you. This beast is basically the tank of the animal world. With skin thicker than armor and a horn sharp and powerful enough to flip over vehicles in wildlife reserves, the rhino is a serious contender. If the elephant is the heavyweight champ in this fight, the rhino is the grizzly bruiser, compact, tough, and packing one heck of a punch. So, who takes the crown in size and strength? The elephant wins hands down. But here's my pro tip: never underestimate the rhino's explosive power. Getting on the wrong side of that horn, that's a rookie mistake you don't want to make. Let's dive into the real action: how these giants throw down when it comes to weapons and combat style. Elephants, they're not just huge and powerful. They're like the special forces of the animal kingdom. Their tusks aren't just big sticks, they're precision tools that can pierce, push, and jab with surprising finesse. And that trunk? It's basically a Swiss Army knife on steroids, strong enough to uproot whole trees or deliver a crushing blow when the moment calls for it. What really sets elephants apart is their brain power. These guys use strategy, intimidation, and even teamwork to outsmart their opponents. Think of them as seasoned generals in a battle, planning their moves carefully before striking. Now, rhinos. They keep it simple but savage. Their style is pure, unfiltered power. These guys charge at blistering speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, locking their lethal horn on target like a living battering ram. When a rhino commits, it's all or nothing head-on collisions that can leave rivals reeling. It's raw energy, straight from the wild. So who wins this weaponry showdown? The elephant's versatile toolkit and cunning tactics definitely give it the upper hand. But don't sleep on the rhino. A full-speed charge from one of these beasts could rattle even the toughest elephant. It's a clash of brains versus brawn, strategy versus sheer force, and that's what makes this battle so electrifying. Let's talk personality, because when it comes to temperament, these two are worlds apart. Elephants are basically the gentle giants of the animal kingdom. They'd rather keep the peace, avoiding conflict unless it's absolutely necessary, like protecting their babies or when they feel seriously threatened. But heads up, when an elephant snaps, it turns into a full-on wrecking ball roaming the savannah. This isn't a calm stroll anymore, it's a force of nature that can leave serious damage in its path. Now, rhinos, they're the classic grumpy bulldozers. Quick to anger and even quicker to charge, these guys don't wait around for an invitation to throw down. If something looks like a threat, even if it's way bigger, they'll rush headfirst, ready to defend their turf with fierce determination. Think of a rhino as that irritable neighbor who's always ready to rumble and never backs down. So what's the takeaway? The rhino might be the one throwing the first punch, but when the dust settles, you definitely don't want to be on the receiving end of an elephant's finishing move. It's like a showdown between a firecracker and a freight train, and you don't want to be hit by either. Let's get real about what goes down when these two titans actually meet in the wild, because spoiler alert, it doesn't happen too often. Elephants and rhinos usually keep their distance, giving each other plenty of room to roam. It's like two heavyweight fighters circling the ring, sizing each other up but knowing when to hold back. But every now and then, the peace shatters. There have been jaw-dropping moments where elephants have chased rhinos off their turf or in some intense territorial battles and during harsh droughts, even killed them. Imagine a giant elephant using its sheer size and power to send a rhino packing or worse. It's like watching a real-life blockbuster showdown, raw and unpredictable. Don't count the rhinos out either. Young bull rhinos, full of energy and courage, have surprised lone elephants with sudden, full-speed charges that could catch even a giant off guard. It's the wild's version of an underdog story, David versus Goliath, but with horns and tusks. Dr. Paula Kahumbu, a top African wildlife expert, nails it when she says elephants use their brains to avoid pointless fights, but when pushed, they become some of the most formidable fighters in the wild. It's a reminder that in nature, sometimes the smartest move is to think twice before throwing the first punch, but when it's time to throw down, these giants mean business. Alright, picture this. A massive, open savanna, the sun blazing down, and two of nature's heavyweight champions stepping into the ring. On one side, you have the mighty elephant, the true land titan whose sheer size, brute strength, and sharp smarts give it a serious advantage. On the other, the rhino, a fierce, horned powerhouse ready to charge with lightning speed and raw aggression. Now, don't count the rhino out just yet. That horn isn't just for show, it's like a built-in wrecking ball that can land a knockout blow if timed just right. A well-placed strike could turn the tides in an instant. But here's the catch: if the fight drags on beyond that initial impact, the elephant's endurance, reach, and tactical brains come into play. Its long trunk and massive tusks let it keep the rhino at bay while wearing it down over time. Think of it like a legendary boxing match, Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson. Ali's finesse, patience, and tactical brilliance eventually outlasted Tyson's explosive power and raw aggression. That's exactly how this battle would play out. The rhino is the fierce brawler who goes all out early, but the elephant is the strategic champ who takes control and wins by a close but convincing margin. So my take: the elephant walks away with the belt, but the rhino's power and spirit make it a showdown no one would want to miss. Nature's heavyweight battle, and it's a knockout in every sense of the word. And the winner is the elephant, the wise heavyweight champion of the wild, wearing its crown not just with raw power but with brains, endurance, and strategy. This gentle giant may move slow, but when it comes to surviving and dominating its territory, it's nothing short of a legend. But here's the thing: nature is full of surprises. Every encounter between these two titans is a unique story, a dance of instincts, strength, and wit. Sometimes the rhino's fierce charge steals the spotlight, other times the elephant's calm resilience wins the day. It's not just a showdown of size or strength. It's a lesson in adaptation, survival, and the unbreakable spirit of the wild. Honestly, watching these magnificent creatures navigate their world is just as gripping as any championship game or epic showdown you've seen on TV. It's Mother Nature's ultimate reality show, and trust me, it never gets boring. So next time you think about the wild, remember this: it's not just about who's the biggest or toughest, it's about who plays the smartest game, and that's what keeps the story alive and wildly fascinating. Are elephants and rhinos dangerous to humans? When it comes to these massive wild giants, the short answer is yes, they can be dangerous, but usually only if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Elephants and rhinos are not out to get people. They're more interested in minding their own business. However, when they feel threatened, cornered, or if you accidentally get between a mama and her baby, things can get intense fast. Elephants, with their incredible size and power, can cause serious damage if provoked. There are stories from safaris where an upset elephant can send a jeep flying or charge at a careless tourist who got a little too close. Their intelligence means they can remember past threats, so respect and distance are key. Rhinos might seem like tanks, but they have a shorter temper and are known to charge without much warning. That horn is no joke, it's a weapon designed for survival, and if a rhino feels threatened, it won't hesitate to use it. Rhino attacks on humans are rare but can be very dangerous because of their explosive speed and power. My take: if you respect their space and follow safety guidelines, encounters with elephants or rhinos can be safe and even magical. But these are wild animals, majestic, powerful, and unpredictable. Treat them with the respect they deserve, and you'll stay safe while enjoying the incredible privilege of seeing these giants up close. Should you keep elephants or rhinos as pets? Let's get real: elephants and rhinos as pets. That's a hard pass from me and pretty much every wildlife expert out there. These creatures are massive, wild, and require tons of space, specialized care, and a natural environment to thrive. Imagine trying to keep a 14,000-pound elephant or a 5,000-pound rhino in your backyard. It's just not practical or safe. Elephants have complex social lives and need to roam for miles every day. They're intelligent and emotional animals who form strong family bonds. Taking them out of the wild or a sanctuary and trying to keep them in a home is not just stressful for the elephant, it's also dangerous for humans. Rhinos, on the other hand, are tough and grumpy with razor-sharp horns that are natural weapons. Their care is incredibly demanding, and they can be unpredictable when stressed or frightened. Plus, rhinos are endangered species, so conservation, not captivity, is the focus. If you're fascinated by these giants, and who isn't, the best way to appreciate them is through responsible wildlife parks, documentaries, or conservation efforts. That way, we support their survival and keep ourselves and them safe. My advice: leave the elephants and rhinos where they belong in the wild or protected reserves and stick to pets that fit comfortably in your home. Imagine a wrestling ring where the heavyweight champs are none other than the mighty elephant and the tough-as-nails rhino. Both have been rocking Earth's wildlife scene for millions of years, but now they're facing their toughest opponent ever: humans with bad intentions. Elephants, the gentle giants with a memory sharper than your smartphone, and rhinos, the armored tanks of the savannah, are both fighting to stay in the game. But poachers and habitat loss are like the sneaky villains trying to tag them out early. If they disappear, who's gonna help us clear out the pesky brush or keep the grasslands healthy? Plus, where else can you see those epic trunks and badass horns in action? So, let's give a shout out to these majestic creatures. They might be in a tough spot, but with a little love and a lot of protection, they can keep their spot on the wildlife roster. Because honestly, Earth without elephants and rhinos, that's like a party without music, just no fun at all. Hey there, if you love this wild showdown between the elephant and the rhino, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more amazing animal battles and fascinating wildlife stories. Got thoughts or questions? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Let's keep the conversation wild and fun.